Y'all, there is a confirmation on TikTok thanks to the tariff that everything is made in China.
Oh no, it's chaos at Louis Vuitton. And not the kind they planned. People are storming into stores, demanding their money back, throwing shade, and calling this the biggest luxury scam we've seen in years. All because some serious tea just dropped, straight out of China. Word on the street is that Chinese manufacturers spilled the truth. And it's ugly. They're claiming that a bunch of those expensive Louis Vuitton bags, yeah, the ones sold as handcrafted in France or Italy, might have actually been churned out in mass production factories in China instead. Let that sink in. Tens of thousands of dollars for something that wasn't even made where they said it was. People are heated. And it's not just regular shoppers, fashion insiders, TikTok sleuths, and loud-mouthed influencers are going all in, tearing the luxury world to shreds. The timing? Terrible for 55. This whole mess just kicked the doors wide open. Now everyone's questioning what's real, what's fake, and who's been lying. So let's dive in and break down what might just be the wildest scandal the high-end world's ever seen, and why Louis Vuitton might seriously be in big trouble. 2025 just hit us with a fashion earthquake, and Louis Vuitton's perfect image shattered into pieces. This whole saga exploded after a viral video dropped straight from inside a Chinese factory, and the internet, it lost its mind. A factory worker went live and casually dropped a truth bomb so wild it should have come with sirens. He exposed exactly how Louis Vuitton, the so-called king of luxury, might have just pulled off one of the boldest scams the fashion world's ever seen. This wasn't some cute behind-the-scenes moment showing how your dream bag gets stitched together. Nah, this was a raw, jaw-dropping look into what's really going down, and it hit like lightning. The wild part? People been buying into LV's fantasy for years. You know, the whole story about skilled European artisans carefully handcrafting every piece with old-school passion and centuries of tradition. Like something out of a Roman leather scroll. But what this video showed was cold, hard reality. Machines, mass production, factory lines. It didn't look like Paris. It looked like a giant warehouse somewhere in the industrial zone. And just when things couldn't get any messier, boom! The US hit China with new tariffs trying to turn up the heat. And that's when this scandal really started spiraling out of control. But China wasn't about to just play nice with the US this time. Oh no. Instead of backing down, they clapped back hard, and no one saw it coming. They didn't just respond with trade moves, they ripped the mask right off global fashion. China started exposing just how deeply American and European luxury brands are tied up in Chinese manufacturing. And caught smack in the middle of this global mess? Louis Vuitton, front and center. This is where it gets crazy. That same factory worker who started the storm, he dropped a bomb, claiming that over half of Louis Vuitton's bags are being pumped out in China. Yeah, those bags. The ones influencers flex in front of yachts. The ones sold behind velvet ropes in glitzy boutiques. All coming off factory belts, not some romantic Parisian workshop. And here's the kicker. These aren't knockoffs. They're the actual bags allegedly made in China, while LV keeps selling the fantasy that they're handcrafted in Europe. The tag might say, made in France, but insiders say the truth is a whole lot messier, and LV's not the only name floating around. Whispers of other big brands like Timberland, New Balance, and Aida 19 are circling too, all connected to the same factories. So yeah, people are livid. They paid thousands thinking they were buying legacy, history, luxury, but now it's looking more like overpriced fast fashion in disguise, dressed up with a label and a lie. The betrayal? Too real. TikTok is blowing up with people putting their luxury bags on blast. Folks are flipping over tags, filming emotional story times about how they hustled for months, even years, to buy that one dream item they thought was rare, exclusive, the real deal. And now, they're waking up to the cold truth. They got played. Big time. People feel straight up duped, fooled into believing they were buying prestige, when what they actually got was a mass-produced product with a luxury price tag. And guess what? Louis Vuitton still hasn't fully addressed the storm. But at this point, it might be too late. The internet's on fire, customers are walking into stores demanding the truth, and the brand's shiny reputation is hanging by a thread. But this isn't just about LV anymore. This scandal cracked open the whole luxury game. It's got everyone asking, are we really paying for craftsmanship and heritage, or just a name stitched onto factory-made goods? Some of the reactions online are wild. One shocked user said, all these brands are made in China, then shipped back just to slap the logo on and get repackaged. Another dropped a bombshell. I have a friend who worked for LV in Italy like 20 years ago. He said they designed stuff there but sent it all off to factories. And get this, the markup was 800%. Then there's people calling out the quality. The canvas doesn't even feel the same anymore, someone posted. I went in recently and it felt off. Plus the prices, outrageous. If it ain't made in France, I don't want it. The message from the fans is loud and clear. LV needs to wake up and get back to what made it legendary. Now here's the part that's making heads spin. This might just be the tip of the iceberg. If Louis Vuitton, the so-called crown jewel of French fashion, is out here allegedly pumping out bags in Chinese factories, what's stopping the rest of the luxury world from doing the exact same thing? Let's be real, people aren't just tripping over the Made in China label, though that alone sent luxury lovers into a tailspin. What's really blowing everyone's minds? The numbers behind it. That factory worker didn't just talk, he exposed. According to him, some Louis Vuitton bags, the same ones chilling behind glass in high-end boutiques, are allegedly made for $15. Yeah, you read that right. $15. Then they flip it and sell it to us for $2,000, even $3,000. That's not luxury, that's robbery in designer packaging. And get this, they're not even pulling some high-level craftsmanship to back up that price. Insiders say the bags are made in China, then quietly shipped to Europe, where they slap on a fancy tag or stitch in a little French label, just enough to keep the illusion alive. So, basically, folks thought they were flexing Parisian excellence, and instead, they were walking around with something built like a bulk warehouse special. The only difference? That bougie little logo. No wonder people are fired up. Some are even half joking. Man, I feel like I deserve to raid 55 stores just to make up for getting scammed. And while they're saying it with laughs, deep down, it stings. What they thought was handcrafted royalty might have just been slick factory merch wrapped in a pretty lie. And of course, Louis Vuitton had to jump in and shut all this down. What else could they do? They dropped an official statement on their website real quick, trying to calm the fire. They claimed their leather goods are exclusively produced in workshops in France, Spain, Italy, and the US. They said their shoes and clothes are made in France and Italy, their watches are only built in Swiss timepiece workshops, and their jewelry, all done in France, Italy, and Switzerland. Sunglasses from France and Italy, fragrances made in Grasse, France, the perfume capital. And of course, they went full corporate mode. We choose only the finest materials. Our experienced craftsmen uphold the tradition of excellence and refinement. Cute, but the internet's not buying it. People are side-eyeing everything now. Not because they think Louis Vuitton doesn't know how to make a quality bag, but because trust just got shattered. If this is the truth behind the so-called heritage craftsmanship, then what else has been smoke and mirrors? Are we really paying for timeless quality? Or just buying into a luxury illusion carefully wrapped in branding, tradition, and high-end fantasy? And while 55 tries to save face, China's just out here pouring gasoline on the fire. They're literally teaching people how to trace the origin of their luxury purchases, breaking down how to spot what's really made where. So now everyone's doing the same thing, grabbing their bags, checking the stitching, flipping tags, and wondering, have we all just been paying top dollar for a beautifully packaged dream? Yep, it's gotten that deep. Now there are actual guides going around teaching folks how to figure out if their precious Made in France bag was really made in China. And here's the plot twist. More and more people are scanning their tags, checking those production codes, and what they're finding is blowing minds. Each time someone confirms it, it's like watching another shopper snap out of the luxury matrix. And in the middle of this chaos, Bernard Arnault, the big boss behind Louis Vuitton and one of the richest men on earth, might be planning his quiet exit. Yup, the same man who once said he'd run LVMH until he was 85. The same man who literally changed rules to stay in power longer is now, at 76, rumored to be backing out early. And let's be real, the timing is way too convenient. This ain't just a tired billionaire looking to retire. Things are getting hot. Louis Vuitton is being blasted across the internet for allegedly faking Made in France labels, while TikTok detectives are out here exposing receipts, tracking serial numbers, and connecting dots that point right back to Chinese factories. And that markup? Crazy. We're talking about bags that reportedly cost $15 to make and get sold for $1,500 to $3,000. 1,000% profit margins. People aren't just mad, they feel played. But wait, it gets worse for Bernard. He's not just dealing with an online dragging, he's also watching his fortune take major hits. According to reports, LVMH shares dropped 7% in just one day, wiping out a jaw-dropping $9 billion from his net worth. All this after a disappointing Q1 sales report that shook investor confidence. Now everyone's asking, is Bernard stepping down because he's ready to relax? Or is he trying to slip out before the luxury empire starts crumbling from the inside? Let's be honest. The economy's on edge, the internet's exposing brand lies like it's a sport, and all these so-called elite fashion houses are being called out like never before. Whatever's going down, one thing's clear. The luxury throne ain't as stable as it used to be. And Bernard? He might just be getting out before it all collapses. So what do you think about all this? Should brands be allowed to sell dreams wrapped in deception? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to check out our other videos for even more jaw-dropping stories. Till next time, stay sharp.